Do you think this should be a Christian country?
Oh, I do. I do. We were founded on God, and Democrats are taking them away, taking them out of the school.
You come to this country, accept our beliefs, accept what we are, accept who we are, or don't come. Don't come here and try to change our country to your beliefs.
I feel very, very strongly about it. I mean, I know we are a country of freedom here, but I am very, very strong and for this becoming a Christian nation.
You ever notice that MAGA chuds all say they love freedom, but they're only talking about freedom for people like them? Then when you ask them about freedom for other people, their logic gets completely shredded.
Let's say I'm a Jewish dad and I send my Jewish daughter to school and she's made to pray to somebody else's God. Do you see that as constitutional?
If I was the father and I didn't want her to pray to somebody else's God, I would take her out of that school.
But what if it's a public school?
I would take her out of the public school.
And then what are his options?
Homeschool.
So if you don't believe in Jesus, homeschooling is probably better?
It's better. Why don't people believe in Jesus?
Is she seriously asking why some people don't believe in Jesus? Have you seen the other gods? Some of them are elephants. That's awesome. I mean, yeah, Jesus' blood was wine, which sounds cool, but then you realize you're drinking blood and it just gets really creepy.
Being a Christian, I don't support false gods or anything like that, but one thing I do support is America's freedom in just about every other way.
Yeah, he was so close. And it's one thing for people with flag shirts not to have a full command of constitutional law.
That's what I mean about separation of church and state.
It shouldn't be, though.
But it's another thing completely when in states like Texas, the legislature fights very hard to display the 10 Commandments in every public classroom.
So what Senate Bill 1550 does is simply says that in every public school classroom in the state of Texas, there shall be posted a copy of the 10 Commandments.
But it's also crazy that the very same state legislature fought to pass a different bill that would allow universities to fire teachers who, quote, indoctrinated kids. But when you point out that putting the 10 Commandments in people's faces every day might be a form of indoctrination, people elected to the highest legislative body in Texas sound exactly like the chuds outside the MAGA rally.
Why is having a rainbow in a classroom considered indoctrination and not having the 10 Commandments in a classroom?
Is that a question?
Yes. Try to understand how this will make a Hindu student feel, how this will make a Buddhist student feel, how this would make an atheist student feel. Just asking for basic empathy. So how do you? So
I don't know how. I think you want me to answer in a way that I'm confused on.
Every time on this committee that we try to teach students values like empathy or kindness, we're told we can't because that's the parents' role. But now you're putting religious commandments, literal commandments, in our classrooms, and you're saying that's the state's role. Why is that not the parents' role?
That's really an interesting rabbit trail that you've gone on with that.
Oh, God, make it stop. Oh, you have more?
I believe this bill is idolatrous. I believe it is exclusionary. And I believe it is arrogant. And those three things, in my reading of the gospel, are diametrically opposed to the teachings of Jesus. You probably know Matthew 6:5, when Jesus says, don't be like the hypocrites who love to pray publicly on street corners. When you pray, go into your room and shut the door and pray to your Father who is in secret. My concern is instead of bringing a bill that will feed the hungry, clothe the naked, heal the sick, we're instead mandating that people put up a poster.
Holy crap! Democratic State Representative James Tallarico hitting Republican State Representative Candy Knoll with some holy crap. I mean, that Jesus that he's talking about there, now that Jesus sounds real cool.